What the freaking heck is up, gamers? Welcome back to another Brawl Star video, the critically acclaimed epic mobile game Brawl Star. 6 months have gone by since the last time I've done a every brawler fun tier list, so it's time to do another one. We have several new brawlers in the game, tons of meta developments have happened, so there is a lot different now, and it's time to get epic. The tiers are very simple. The top 10 most fun brawlers in the game, in my opinion, the really fun brawlers, the mid brawlers, and the boring brawlers. These are all my opinion. If I say that your main is boring, don't take it as a personal attack. Please. Thank you to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. Warcraft Rumble is the first Warcraft game designed from the ground up specifically for mobile. So, for you. You right there, you. Yeah. It's an action-packed strategy game where players can choose their favorite characters from the Warcraft universe to build and upgrade an army, which you can use in PvE game modes, PvP game modes, raids, dungeons. There's a lot that you can do in this game. Warcraft Rumble is a pretty easy game to learn, but it's relatively hard to master. So for those of you looking for a bit of difficulty, you got it. If you want to play casually, you can. Again, you can either play through a huge single-player experience with over 70 different missions for you to complete, as well as weekly and monthly challenges in the forms of multi-part dungeons and raids and much more. You can also play with your friends, either cooperatively or competitively, and of course, you can join a guild and play with other players in there as well. So whether you're into real-time strategy, tower defense, or deck-building games, Warcraft Rumble has all of that packed into this game, so why not give it a try? Click the link in the description to download Warcraft Rumble today, and thank you again to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. Alright, starting with 8-bit, I'm gonna put him in mid for now. He could drop down to boring. Yes, I can change the tier list later on, but I think that him being one of the slowest brawlers in the game, and also the fact that nobody plays him because he's pretty boring, means he's at least mid. Brawlers like Amber always confuse me because in a world, she could be pretty fun, but Amber's main game plan is holding auto aim for the majority of the match. She does have more tools than she used to, so I'll put her in fun for now because she can be fun. But when you are playing her correctly, you're basically not even playing the game. Next is Ashe, and Ashe is one of the most fun brawlers in my opinion, although he sucks right now, which really hurts him. So in another world, he could be in top 10, but that probably won't happen for me until he has a hypercharge. Now we have Barley. He is one of the most basic brawlers in the entire game. There is one playstyle that he has, and you cannot do anything else because that's all he's got. Yes, he just got a hypercharge recently, but it's basically the average hypercharge that doesn't really change anything about his gameplay anyways, so I'm gonna put him in boring. Sorry, Barley mains. I know there's like 5 of you out there. A B is another hard one because she also can just rely on auto aim and it works, and most of the time that's kind of what you want to do when you're in the mid range, and then once you get in the long range, then you change it up. But she doesn't have much variety to her gameplay, but still, she's a sniper. Snipers are usually pretty fun, so I'll put her in fun at least. She could move later. Belle is another sniper. However, I would say that she's a lot more fun than B because she just has more to her gameplay. She has more stuff going on. So yeah, I think I would put Belle above B sniper-wise. Now, BB, for me, could go in the top 10. I really think that BB's a fun brawler. When she sucks, it really hurts because you cannot approach anybody. It just doesn't work. But when she does work, or even when she's average, I think that she's one of the most fun brawlers in the game, specifically one of the most fun tanks in the game. So I'll put her in top 10 for now. Next we have Bonnie, and it feels like a really basic sniper combined with Edgar, which I don't think is very fun. So I'm gonna put Bonnie in mid. I'm sorry, Bonnie main. Same thing goes with Bo for me, man. There's only one playstyle you can do with them, and it's kind of just rinse and repeat. To be fair, that is the same for a lot of brawlers in this game, because that's just how it is. But yeah, I'm gonna put Bo in mid. Am I gonna put Bo in mid, or should I put him in fun? I'll put him in low fun for now, all right? I'll give some mercy real quick. I think that Brock is either equal or slightly more fun than B. So there's a really big discrepancy with Bull players. If you are Pika, who is like the best Bull player in the world, Bull is top 10. If you're not Pika, he's probably all the way down here. However, I will give mercy to Bull, and I'll put him in mid. If Stomper was base kit and he got a new gadget, he would probably go all the way up here. But since Stomper is a gadget, it just makes me not want to play him. I'm not even joking. That is how it is. Now, Buzz is like what Bull wishes to be. So I'm going to put Buzz all the way up here and really fun. I think a lot of people could agree with that one. Now, Byron for me is top 10 because he has multiple different playstyles that you can choose from, which I love doing. You could go full heal. You could go full damage. You could mix in some full healing and full damage. It's pretty epic. He can be played as a sniper. He can have good burst damage with the super. He can stop enemies from healing. Byron's a cool brawler. I like Byron. All right, so he might stay in my top 10. And then we have Carl. So Carl used to be all the way up here for me, but I don't know what happened to this guy. I don't see him anymore, and I have not played this guy in, I think, several months. So I might put him all the way down here. I really don't know what happened to Carl for me. I don't know. Whether it's a casual or competitive match, I feel like Colette is really fun because when you get the right combination with the gadget and the star power, you can just roll through people, especially with the hypercharge. Colette can be very fun. So I'm gonna put her in really fun for now. Colt for me is a little difficult because I suck at playing him sometimes, and then other times I'm really good at playing as him. It really depends on the day. So he could range from like here all the way up here. In general, I'll just put him in the middle. So I'll put him like right next to Brock. I think that's fair. I don't think I'm gonna put Crow in my top 10 anymore. I really wish that he would get some kind of rework to make him more of an assassin like he used to be. If this was back in the day, dude, when Crow was actually an assassin, when he could jump in and jump out like Edgar can nowadays, he would be all the way up here. That's what made me love Crow. He actually played like an assassin. Yeah, I'm gonna put him like maybe down here, I'd say. All right, unfortunately, Daryl is like Edgar with even less steps, so I'm gonna put him all the way at the bottom. And this could just be because he doesn't have any place in the meta right now, but even if he did, his gameplay is literally just roll in and mash auto aim, maybe push a gadget in the mix there, but there's really nothing going on with this brawler. I'm sorry, Daryl mains. I want this guy to get a buff so then he can be more fun and be more viable, all right? That's what I'm pushing for. Now, Edgar is confusing because it's like the same thing as Daryl, except he does it better because Edgar's a newer brawler who got newer stuff. So I could put him just like down here, but I do think that playing Edgar has to be fun because so many people do it. And sure, it's a lot of kids playing Edgar, but he's got to be at least a little fun, right? So I probably put him like around here in the middle. There is no way you can argue that Edgar's the most fun brawler in the game because all you do is you jump in and mash auto aim. It's like Daryl done correctly. I'm keeping him in the middle no matter what. All right, he cannot be that fun. Ems for me is one of those brawlers who screams like competitiveness. Like if I want to try hard, I'm gonna play Ems, and I don't know why that is, but I would probably put her like somewhere in the middle or maybe like low of really fun. It really depends, because if I'm not feeling like in a competitive mood, she's gonna put me to sleep. So I'll put her like down here for now in fun. It's still fun. Like sure, it's a middle tier, but it's fun. That's not a bad thing. Eve for me is teetering between boring and mid. I really don't play her besides when it's in a really good heist map with a lot of water or something like that. So I'd probably put her at least in mid, but she could drop down to boring for me. But I really want to save boring for brawlers who genuinely have nothing going for them. Now we have Fang, and I think he would be at least in really fun because he's like Edgar, but he has way more going for him. He has the shoes that he can kick out. He has the combos with the super. You can time his super properly for fresh kicks. He has really cool star powers, decent gadgets. He's just a really fun brawler. He was made to be fun. So I'll put him up here for now, at least up here. I could move him up to top 10, even though I'm not like a crazy Fang player. Frank, even pre-rework, I would say is a pretty fun brawler. Now that he got the rework, I'd probably put him all the way up here. Probably not top 10, but maybe like around the middle of really fun. Some people could definitely argue putting him all the way down in boring. I get it, but I personally think he's pretty fun. It just sucks that he's been bad for so long. You know what, Gale? I might put him all the way down here, man. I really do not find myself having that much fun anytime I choose Gale. He feels like a support brawler who doesn't really support, if that makes sense. I don't really get it. I'd say Gene is relatively fun. I don't think I play him enough for him to be really fun for me, so I'm gonna put him like around here. I think that's fair. Griff for me is another brawler, and I feel like this is the same for a lot of people. If he's not in the meta, or you're not choosing him to counterpick somebody in ranked, or you're not choosing him as a substitute for somebody like Colt, you're just never gonna play Griff because he's not the most fun thing to play. I don't know, man. I think I would put him either in mid or low. I'm gonna put him in mid. I'm not even joking, bro. He's just gonna be in mid. Next up is Grom. Out of all the throwers, I do feel like he's one of the more boring ones in my opinion, so yeah, I'm gonna put him in mid. Sorry, Grom. Jackie, boring. There's no argument here, bro. She has circles for her attacks. There's no thought behind her gameplay besides the same thing that you do with every other brawler, specifically every other tank, is you dodge attacks and try to go in. That is all she has. She doesn't have any aiming skill whatsoever. You can't even aim. You can only auto aim. That is the most boring thing. You know what? Put her all the way down at the bottom. That is the most boring thing. Janet is confusing because when she's really good, she's relatively fun, but when she's bad, nobody plays her. And that's been proven. So yeah, I think I'll put her in mid for now because she's not that good right now. Jessie's a relatively fun brawler. I don't play her very often, but when I do, it's pretty fun. So I'll put her, I could put her here because Jessie's just an interesting brawler. There's nobody quite like her. So yeah, I think she's fun. I'll put her in really fun. I'll do it. I'm doing it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Dislike the video? I don't care. That's engagement. What are you gonna do? Leave a comment? I don't care. That's engagement. Thanks. If I put Leon in boring, that would be the most engagement I've ever gotten on a YouTube video. I'm gonna do myself a anti-favor and put him in really fun because it's true, and I'm not lying here on this video. I'm being 100% honest. Kairos Time Brawl Star Edition in this tier list. Lou for me is really fun. I can see the argument that he's boring. He's the only brawler in the game with the ice mechanic, and that alone makes him fun. Max is also really fun. There's not much to really say about her. She's really fast. She has speedy, yep, really fun. Dynamite, for me, used to be really fun. He fell off recently, so I'm gonna put him in fun. Mortis as well. I don't really know. Sometimes he can be really fun, but if you get hard countered, he's all the way down here because you physically can't play the game. It really depends on the matchup. So yeah, I think I would just put him like, maybe, I don't know. He's a really fun brawler. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He's just gonna be up here. Another boring brawler in my opinion. I am sorry, Mr. P mains. I am very sorry, Blizz, but I'm putting Mr. PP at the top of boring. I don't really see the appeal, besides the fact that he's a penguin. That's pretty hype, but like his gameplay, I don't enjoy. I'd say Nani for me is kind of middle of the road, but when I'm trying to pick a sniper, I usually gravitate towards Nani, or I forget about Nani's existence. It's a real big toss-up, so I think for now I'll put Nani in fun. I kind of want to put her up here. I'm putting her up here. Dude, it's my video. I don't care. Nita, for me, is beyond mid. I don't really find her to be the most fun in the brawler in the game, even when her hypercharge bear rolls through people, because most of the time it dies in 3 seconds anyways. That's kind of mid to me. Otis, I'm sorry, Otis players. He's very basic. I really like his design. He's a really cute brawler. He's an artist. I understand why a lot of people love him. Me personally though, playing him inside of this video game bores me because he has one playstyle. Just like a lot of these other mid brawlers, they have one goal in mind. They have one thing that they can do. And sure, a lot of these other brawlers in like fun also only technically have like one play style, but I feel like they have a little bit more in general because what Otis does is he shoots his shot and then mutes somebody and walks in their face and shoots more shots. That's all he has going. Pam is a brawler that I don't choose very often, but when I do, she has this like special feeling to her that no other brawler has. Like that's another criteria for me whether a brawler is fun or not, is like if you choose them, can you just choose anybody else and feel the same gameplay that you're feeling with Pam? And I don't think so. So that makes me want to put her in fun or even really fun. But considering I don't play her very much, I'm going to put her at the top of fun because that just makes sense to me. If Penny was a good brawler, which she has not been for several months, she would probably be all the way up here because her rework made her extremely unique. But the fact that she's so garbage right now and she has been for so long just because she doesn't have a hypercharge puts her like all the way down here. So I'm going to bring her to the middle and put her like near the middle of fun because I want her to be good. But when she's bad, she is useless. I would probably put Piper in my top 10. Yes, I like snipers quite a bit, but Piper is one of my favorites. She's always been. When she first came out in beta, that was some of the most fun a lot of players had in this game. And she felt way different back then, just because her range was so much longer. Before they changed every sniper's range to be just about identical, which really disappointed me at the time. I think I'm gonna put Poco in fun. He can be a really fun healer if that's what you're going for. I think I have certain healers that I enjoy a little bit more than Poco, so I'll put him in line with Pam. I think that makes sense to me. Primo used to be a really fun brawler to me, but I don't know what it is. More recently, he's fallen off for me a bit, so I think I'll put him in the middle. If you asked me like 5 years ago when he was crazy in this game, I would put him like all the way up here, but now he's like down here. I know I'm gonna disappoint a lot of Rico players because there's a lot of people who have mastered this brawler and love bouncing those balls. Not me. I'm not one of those people. All I see Rico as is a funny green button. So that's why I'm putting him in mid. I can't put him in mid. I'll put him at the bottom of fun because that's just too harsh to put him in mid. He has a really unique playstyle that only like one other brawler has. I should just put him up here. He can't be with these brawlers who have only one thing going on for them. Now we got Rosa. I kind of want to put her down here. She's going to be at the bottom of mid because I do like the fact that you can place bushes down. She's the only one who can do that. If she didn't have that gadget, she would be in boring. But since she does, I'm going to keep her here. It's such a unique gadget. I like it a lot. It carries her for fun for me. I think Ruffs would be all the way up here for me if he was better than he currently is, but without a hypercharge, he's not doing too good, so I'll just put him like in the dead center. I like playing this brawler, but he's weak. For me, if I'm playing ranked or anything relatively competitive and Sandy is an option for a map, I'm choosing him. He's really fun to me. It's probably because he's so good, but it's a playstyle that I personally really enjoy. That's why he's in my top 10. That's literally it. I like his playstyle for a competitive atmosphere. Yes, I know he's broken. if he gets a slight nerf, I'll still pick him. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I think Shelly was designed to be a mid brawler because she doesn't have too much going for her. I do think that she has a little bit more going for her than most of these brawlers in mid, so I'll put her at the very top of it. I don't think I could put Lola more than fun, just because she's always been like above mediocre in the meta, but never like all the way up here when it comes to an actual tier list, which I think that if she was better, or if her clone was optimized better, because it still feels kind of clunky, and if her clone wasn't like that, if it just felt like you're playing as a Lola twice instead of you're playing as a slower Lola who doesn't have an aiming reticle, I think she would be all the way up here. But since your clone is so clunky and you have to really just like zone in to be able to get value out of it, and you have to be like a god tier Lola main to do anything, I'm gonna put her in the middle of fun probably. Spoob, I'm sorry. I do want to put Megan boring, but she did just get a rework that turned her into more of like a damage dealing closer range brawler, which is more my style. I didn't like her control style, so I'll put her probably in like mid. I can't put her in fun. She's just not that fun to me. Now we have Spike, who I want to put in top 10 just because he's really cute, but I don't think I can. I might put him in really fun or just fun, because Spike honestly doesn't have that much going for him. He's a pretty basic brawler, but I mean, it's Spike. Like, he's pretty fun, so I'll put him down here. I might also move Gene up quite a bit because he's pretty fun. Now we got Sprout, and he visually is one of my favorite brawlers in the entire game. It's kind of like Spike, where he gets bumped up just because looking at him is fun. He's a cute little plant in a pot. Like, come on, dude, like, he's so cute. But fun wise, I'd probably put him like down here, just because like if an assassin jumps on you, you have no option. That's just how it is. You have to accept your fate as Sprout if anything bad happens to you. So yeah, I'll keep him down here just because of that. But in general, he's pretty fun. He's also just a cutie. Man, I think I'm gonna put Squeak in mid. Like, even when he's good, I find him to be just annoying. Like, the residue is so annoying, man. I can't. It makes me sad. Stu, probably really fun. I could put him in top 10. I still need to figure out who I'm even putting up there, honestly, but yeah, he's at least gonna be up here. Surge as well. He could be in top 10, but he's definitely at least in the upper ranks. Tara to me is honestly kind of mid. I don't know. Maybe in a little bit of fun because she does have some unique stuff. Not much higher though. I'll put her like down here. Tick to me is one of the most passive and boring brawlers in the game. I'm sorry, Nat. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. It's never gonna change. It's Tick. It's Tick. You know, 99% of the player base hates Tick, but there's that 1% who absolutely love him, and good for you. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I do want to put Gus all the way in top 10. The fact that he's really mid right now in the meta hurts because it makes him feel like garbage. If he had a hypercharge and everything, I would probably put him up here with Byron as my like top 2, maybe top 3 if I add anybody else support brawlers in the game. So I'll keep him up there for now. Now we got Sam. If I was a good Sam player, he'd probably be all the way up here. I'm a pretty mid Sam player, so I'll keep him probably at like the top of fun. Yeah, that's fine. Buster is a brawler who I really only choose when I'm playing as a tank competitively. He's relatively fun. I would probably just put him like near Sam though, because I don't see him being like a super really fun brawler who I am so excited to play. If he got a hypercharge, that could change, but yeah, he's staying here. Chester, I think he's in general really fun. If he was a better brawler, he would be way higher, but it's another one of those cases where him being weak holds him back, because if you choose him, you feel like a detriment to your team and he just can't do very much. I know he just got a rework. It still wasn't enough, so maybe if he gets a hypercharge, he will actually be good, because if a brawler like this is good, they're automatically fun to most people. Now we got Gray, and I would say he's really fun. I don't play him a lot, but I get his play style and it's pretty interesting to me. So yeah, I think he can fit up here. Mandy to me is a mid sniper. She's one of my least favorites. That's just how it is. I don't like her play style. Her super is interesting, but I'm only getting hit by it because I don't play her, so I never get to experience how it is to actually shoot it. RT does have some stuff going for him, and he did just get an inline rework, but I kind of want to put him down here. Like, personally, I do not enjoy playing this brawler. When I'm playing him, I sleep, so that's why I'm putting him down here. I'm sorry, RT mains. It's a straight line sniper that turns into Jackie. There's not much else to say about it. I wish I could put Willow higher because she is one of my favorite concepts for a thrower, but the fact that she's been so mediocre for so long makes me confused. So I think I'm gonna slap her down here in fun. I would like to put you higher. I'm sorry, Willow. I'm so sorry. Will you ever forgive me? Probably not. Now, Hank, you see, a lot of people want me to go like prawn ready. prawn ready. Hank, spam LC, milk, prawn ready. But today is a different day because I have to be honest, and I don't like playing Hank. You know what? Down here, mid. I don't like playing him. I'm sorry. You know, I may be prawn ready and I may be a Hank milk enthusiast, but a Hank milk enthusiast is capable of being honest. Maybe if Hank got a hypercharge, he would be all the way up here. Now we have Macy, which is a brawler that fell off for everybody once she became a bad brawler. So that right there shows that she's not fun. She's only fun when you get to team wipe people. So I'm gonna put Maisie in mid. I'm sorry, I really like playing Maisie, but when she's bad, she feels miserable. If she's good in a year from now when you're watching this later, awesome. She's probably in the really fun category at that point. Cordelius is an interesting assassin because he doesn't have that many approach options, but his super is really unique. Lily stole it, I get it, but I think he would be in really fun for me. Even though I don't play him a lot, I usually pick him as a counter pick. It's a fun time. I personally want to put Doug in boring. I don't see the appeal, and I don't think very many people see the appeal. He's kind of just like Jackie. I might put him all the way down there. If I could just aim with Doug, life would be so much better. I would find him pretty fun. Now we have Pearl, and I think she's pretty mid. I don't know. I don't really enjoy her playstyle. The heat bar is a new mechanic, which I appreciate. Not my favorite mechanic. I don't want it to be removed, but I just don't think it's that fun. I think that maybe her attacks could have been a little different. For me, Chuck is so boring. I don't know. Oh man, I could put him all the way down here. I just don't know. I don't understand him. Even when I do see people playing him, it doesn't look like fun. You set up your stuff, and then for the rest of the match, you press the super button, maybe shoot one shot, press the super button again, and rinse and repeat for the next 2 to 3 minutes. And that is all he does. There is nothing else, because if you do anything else, you're throwing. So I want to put Chuck all the way down here at the very bottom because he has less to him than even Jackie. That, in my opinion, whether I'm playing him or I'm watching him, I sleep. I'm gone. I'm zonked out. Charlie, I don't know, man. I don't think that she's a really fun brawler. I mean, competitively is where everybody uses her, but like in the grand scheme of things, she could be like here, I think, maybe in like the middle. I don't think she's at the tippy top for me. All right, now we got Miko, and he basically replaced Mortis in a lot of ways. Part of me wants to put him here because his play style is really one-dimensional. However, if you're a little quirky, then you can do some special things with him, I guess. So I'll put him like in the middle here. Now I'm gonna be honest, boys. I'm not finding Kit to be very enjoyable because they're not buffing him in the ways that I would find fun. Rather than giving him a bit more survivability while he's jumping on enemies, which was one of the most fun things about him, was like stunning an enemy while you're invincible and then your team has advantage on that brawler. That was really fun. Ever since then, they brought him from invincible to completely vulnerable. If you guys saw my recent video in Showdown, I jumped on an enemy and every bullet that came at us hit me first until I died and then started hitting the enemy. That is the opposite of fun, man. His playstyle has become very one-dimensional. There's a lot of ways to throw with Kit, and there's only one way to really play him properly. So I'm gonna put him down here in mid. I get it. I got his mastery title. I didn't have fun doing it. I was playing Showdown sitting there until top 4 the whole time. Come on. Larry Laurie, for me, actually might be my least favorite thrower in the game. I'm not sure. He might be all the way down here with Grom. After the Larry fiasco, I feel like everybody overplayed him, and now he's run his course, and he's gone, in my mind at least. I think Angelo, for me, because he's a sniper who moves very fast, can go over water, charges a bow. Those are a lot of mechanics I've been waiting for in this game. Besides the water thing, I don't like the water mechanic because it invalidates a lot of brawlers. I still think that should have a timer on it. I'll put him like all the way up here. There's potential for him to move all the way up in the top 10. I'm still so unsure about that. Melody, to me, has a couple problems that keep her from going from like here all the way up here. And that one thing is the bug where if you try auto-aiming or just shooting in general right after supering, instead of attacking, it will just super again, putting you out of position, wasting a super slot, not even shooting your ammo so that you're not even doing what you want to do. And it's horrible, and it's really consistent. If you ever super in with Melody and try shooting, it input buffers the incorrect thing, and that just ruins it. So that brings her all the way down here for me. Now Draco, I would love to put him all the way up here. I think that he's a really interesting concept. After playing him, I realized that concept is no longer as interesting to me, so I think he'll be down here with Melody. Now I do think that Lily also has a lot of potential to be really fun, but I don't know, man. She feels like Fang, but with less going for her. I'll just put her here with the gang. The 3 in a row. Barry has a lot of different playstyles. One complaint I do have about him that kind of dips his fun for me is the fact that his super, for some reason, acts like a stew super, despite it doing 3,000 damage and being a generally aggressive move, which is usually a move that you would want to auto aim, especially if an enemy's in your face. Instead of going for the nearest enemy or even the nearest ally, it just goes in the direction you're walking. And I had no idea about that. It kind of ruins the super for me just a little bit, because if somebody's in my face and I auto aim it, I would expect it to kill them. And it just brings me so far away from them every time. But that's one little complaint. I can get over it. I can learn. I understand at this point that's a skill issue. And I haven't played him since I figured that out. So once I do figure it out, he'll probably be even more fun. So I'm gonna put him all the way up here. Surge should be above them. There we go. Oh, and Leon should be up there. All right. You know, these two should probably be up there as well. There we go. Now the last brawler, Clancy. I don't know how fun he's gonna be. I'm gonna slap him all the way here in the middle. I think he should be relatively fun, but I don't think he'll be boring. There's no way. I don't think he'll be my top 10. He's gonna chill right here. Now we actually have to make the top 10, and I'm not even gonna lie, this is kind of hard. I think that Stu could fit up here. If I had 0 ping, it would probably be a lot more fun. I'm just saying. Once Ash gets a buff, he will be up here for me, so I might as well throw him up there. I think I could get away with throwing Surge up here as well. He's really fun. Take these last 2 picks with a grain of salt, because I could be choosing anybody from this really fun tier and throwing them up there right now. I'm going to throw Bell up there, and as the final brawler, I might as well just throw Fang up there. I might as well do it. He's been sitting there at the top of really fun for the whole video. Guys, wait, look at this. Unlike every other video like this I've made, there's actually variety to my top 10. We have a controller, we have a tank, we have a sniper, we have a support, another tank, a damage dealer, a sniper, which is another damage dealer, an assassin, and another assassin. Boom, boom. Dude, last time, I think my top 10 was like purely assassins. Guess what? Times have changed. Now some of them are down here. This might be the greatest tier list in Brawl Star history. And because of that, you should subscribe. I'm sorry to the 10 mains of these brawlers down here. Hopefully they will be fun for me in the future.